That bottle of soy sauce in your cupboard might contain just 4% actual soy sauce. The rest, water, sugar, and chemicals linked to cancer. Some UK brands tested contained carcinogens at levels 2,000 times above legal limits. But what we uncovered next was even worse. Real soy sauce is made from 4 simple ingredients: water, soybeans, wheat, and salt. It's fermented naturally over months, creating deep, complex flavors through centuries-old methods. But walk into any UK supermarket today and you'll find something entirely different on the shelves. Products labeled as soy sauce that contain as little as 3% of the real thing. The rest is filler, coloring agents, and chemical shortcuts designed to mimic authentic taste in a fraction of the time. This investigation will reveal which brands are deceiving British shoppers and, more importantly, what you should be buying instead. Soy sauce arrived in Britain through Chinese and Japanese restaurants in the mid-20th century. For decades, it remained an exotic ingredient, something you'd encounter dining out rather than cooking at home. That changed in the 1990s when UK supermarkets began stocking their own versions. Blue Dragon became the household name. Amoy followed. Then every major chain launched their own label. The assumption was simple: these were all variations of the same traditional product. Different brands, slightly different prices, but fundamentally the same thing. That assumption was wrong. What most British shoppers don't realize is that authentic soy sauce requires months of natural fermentation. The process cannot be rushed without fundamentally changing what you're producing. Yet somewhere along the way, manufacturers discovered they could create something that looked like soy sauce, tasted vaguely similar, and cost far less to produce. The question is, what exactly are we buying? When you flip over a bottle of supermarket soy sauce and read the ingredients list properly, something immediately feels wrong. After water and a small percentage of soy extract, you'll find caramel coloring, specifically E150C. This is ammonia caramel, created by heating sugars in the presence of ammonia compounds. It's used because chemically produced soy sauce doesn't develop the dark color that natural fermentation creates. The color has to be added artificially. Then come the preservatives: sodium benzoate, potassium sorbate. Real fermented soy sauce doesn't need preservatives. The salt content and natural fermentation process preserve it. If a product requires chemical preservation, it tells you immediately that it hasn't been properly fermented. UK food regulations allow this because soy sauce isn't a legally protected term here. There's no standard of identity. A product can call itself soy sauce whilst containing barely any. The EU has slightly tighter guidelines, requiring minimum fermentation periods for products labeled as naturally brewed. The UK, post-Brexit, has no such requirement. In 2018, the Food Standards Agency tested soy sauce products sold on UK shelves. They found concerning levels of 3-MCPD, a potential carcinogen that forms when vegetable proteins are broken down using acid hydrolysis rather than natural fermentation. Some samples exceeded safe limits by significant margins. The FSA issued warnings. Recalls followed. Glass contamination was discovered in multiple supermarket brands, all traced back to a single supplier, Worldwise Foods. But the question remained unanswered. How much actual soy sauce is in these bottles? Let's start with the numbers. Blue Dragon Dark Soy Sauce, one of Britain's best-selling brands, contains between 3% and 9% actual soy sauce extract. Think about that. You're paying £2 for 375 milliliters of a product that's over 90% not what the label suggests. What fills the rest is water, sugar, and that ammonia caramel we mentioned. The problem with E150C goes beyond deceptive labeling. When ammonia reacts with sugars during production, it creates 4-methylimidazole, known as 4-MEI. The U.S. National Toxicology Program found clear evidence of carcinogenic activity in animal studies: lung tumors, liver tumors, thyroid tumors. California requires cancer warnings on products exceeding certain 4-MEI levels. The UK requires nothing. Blue Dragon also contains sodium benzoate as a preservative. When sodium benzoate meets vitamin C in the presence of heat, it can convert to benzene, a known human carcinogen. A study by Southampton University, funded by the FSA, linked sodium benzoate to hyperactive behavior in children and measurable IQ reduction. Then there's the 2018 contamination scandal. Waitrose, Tesco, Asda, and Aldi all simultaneously recalled their soy sauce products after glass fragments were discovered. The investigation revealed something disturbing. Despite different labels and vastly different prices, all these products came from the same factory. Worldwide Foods was producing identical formulations, just slapping different supermarket branding on them. Waitrose charges £1 for 150 milliliters. That's 67p per 100 milliliter for a product containing just 4% soy sauce. You're paying premium prices for the exact same industrial shortcut that fills budget brands. Sainsbury's takes a different approach to deception. Their reduced salt soy sauce contains just 5% actual soy sauce. The reduced salt claim is technically accurate, but only because there's barely any real soy sauce present to contain salt. You're not getting a healthier version. You're getting diluted flavored water. And because it lacks depth of flavor, you end up using more, defeating the entire purpose. 1 teaspoon of standard soy sauce delivers around 40% of your daily salt allowance according to NHS guidelines. That's significant. But the solution isn't buying products with 5% soy content. The solution is using less of a genuine product that actually delivers the flavor you're after. Morrison's dark soy sauce represents perhaps the worst value. It costs 90p for 150 milliliters, contains just 5% soy sauce, and packs 17.17 grams of salt per 100 milliliters, the highest concentration we tested. 1 tablespoon gives you nearly half your daily salt limit in a single splash. The NHS spends approximately £2.1 billion annually managing hypertension. Stroke kills around 34,000 Britons every year. Products loaded with salt to compensate for their lack of authentic flavor contribute directly to this crisis. You're not saving money with Morrison's. You're paying 60p per 100 milliliter for 5% soy sauce and maximum salt. Compare that to genuine fermented products at 58p per 100 milliliter with 100% soy content and naturally balanced sodium. The worst offenders: Blue Dragon, 3 to 9% soy content, ammonia caramel, E150C, sodium benzoate preservative. Widely available, heavily marketed, fundamentally misleading. Waitrose dark soy sauce, 4% soy content, premium pricing for budget formulation. Involved in 2018 glass contamination recall. Made by same supplier as budget brands whilst charging 67p per 100 milliliters. Sainsbury's reduced salt. 5% soy content masquerading as health-conscious choice. Requires more product to achieve flavor, defeating reduced salt purpose entirely. M&S light soy sauce. 8% soy content at 135 for 150 milliliters. You're paying M&S premium for Malaysian-produced soy extract, identical to budget formulations. Morrison's dark soy sauce, 5% soy content with 17.17 grams salt per 100 milliliters, the highest concentration tested. Worst value and highest sodium content combined. What actually works? Kikkoman naturally brewed, 4 ingredients only: water, soybeans, wheat, salt. Fermented for several months using 300-year-old methods. Available everywhere. Costs $5.80 for 1 litre, 50p per 100 milliliter. Cheaper than Waitrose's 4% product whilst delivering 100% genuine fermentation. Clear Spring Organic Tamari, 52% soybean content, the highest we found. 2 summer fermentation in cedarwood kegs. Certified organic, gluten-free, $4.29 for 150 milliliter. More expensive, but when used by the teaspoon, a bottle lasts months. Available at Holland & Barrett, Ocado health food stores nationwide. Every time you buy one of these misleading products, you're making 3 mistakes simultaneously. First, you're wasting money. Paying premium prices for predominantly water and additives, whilst genuine fermented products cost the same or less. Second, you're consuming unnecessary chemicals, from ammonia caramel linked to carcinogens to preservatives your body doesn't need. Third, you're missing out on actual flavor. Chemical shortcuts cannot replicate the depth and complexity that months of natural fermentation create. This matters especially for home cooks who've invested time learning proper technique. You're following recipes correctly, using quality ingredients elsewhere, then undermining everything with a condiment that's 95% fake. The dish doesn't taste right, and you blame your cooking rather than the industrial shortcut in your cupboard. The solution is straightforward. Next time you're in Tesco, Aldi, Lidl, or Sainsbury's, walk past the own brand soy sauces entirely. Look for Kikkoman. Check the label shows only 4 ingredients. If you want to go further, Order Clear Spring Tamari online. Your cooking will improve immediately, not because your technique changed, but because you're finally using the real thing. The annual cost difference is roughly 10 to 12 pounds. That's what authentic flavor costs. The biggest revelation isn't that some brands cut corners. It's how brazenly they do it whilst charging premium prices. Waitrose selling 4% soy sauce at luxury pricing. M&S doing the same. Sainsbury's hiding dilution behind health claims. These aren't budget compromises. These are deliberate decisions to prioritize profit over honesty. The key takeaway is simple. Soy sauce should contain 4 ingredients. If the label shows more, you're buying something else entirely. And with genuine options available everywhere at competitive prices, there's absolutely no reason to accept less. This matters now more than ever because food manufacturers are betting you won't check. They're betting you'll trust the brand, trust the price point, trust the packaging. Stop trusting. Start reading labels. Which brand shocked you most? Have you been buying any of these thinking you were getting quality? Drop your experience in the comments below. If you want us to investigate other everyday ingredients hiding in your kitchen, hit subscribe. We're uncovering the truth behind what British supermarkets are really selling you, one product at a time. And if you found this useful, share it with someone who cooks. Because the only way these misleading products disappear from shelves is when enough people stop buying them. Knowledge is power. Use it next time you shop.